the same people who want you to be healthy may actually be threatened by you taking these steps that you need to take to be healthy for two reasons. One, you're demonstrating that you want more out of life, maybe more out of your social position. So that creates a conflict between their perception of how you relate to them. Oh, Alex thinks he's better than me, or Alex is trying to be better than me, which can create conflict and can make things challenging. And then the other thing is you're reminding people of their bad choices when you do it, which nobody likes to be reminded of, particularly people who habitually make bad choices. And so that's the problem that you're dealing with. And so when you're in situations like these, if you remember that first, that's the problem that you're dealing with. You're dealing with egos of people, right? I think it becomes a lot easier to, the problems become a lot easier to dance around. And that doesn't mean that you can 100% do what you want all the time. But it does mean that if you push back in the most important areas, you can probably make 4/5 of the progress that you would otherwise make if you were not surrounded by people like that.
Yeah, I think the second point you made about people being reminded about their own bad choices, like that's a big one. I notice it in my family too. Like we have family parties. My aunts will see what I'm eating and they'll be like, "Oh, come on, it's just like one day, just like, eat this." And like, you could tell it's like, they're like kind of impressed by my discipline, but then they're kind of like pushing me to not be that way almost.
Yeah.
So like, you have to like really stick your ground.
Yeah. And, it's interesting because, you talk about your family being impressed with your discipline. People say that the same to me. I don't think either one of us considers it to be disciplined to not eat a lot of these foods because we don't even think they taste good, right? So it's one thing where, if I'm like fasting took discipline because my body was hungry and I did not eat for 60 hours. That takes discipline. Not eating a donut because it's in front of me does not really take much discipline for me because I eat sweets whenever I crave them. That's part of my diet framework. I just eat the healthiest versions of them. So if you look at my refrigerator, I have a lot of local honey. I will have maple syrup. And whenever I'm craving something sweet, I will have that. So I never feel like I'm deprived. I never feel like, oh, a donut. I never have the chance to eat these. I wish I could because I'm on this diet, right? So when you have a healthy relationship with food, you don't actually feel like you're being that disciplined with how you eat. It's like, you could say that I'm disciplined because I've taken 20 breaths a minute every minute for the last, however many, for 34 years, right? I keep breathing, but it doesn't require conscious effort. It's just a habit, right? And so discipline and habits are different. Habits are easier to continue. Discipline requires some degree of effort to continue. And once you build the right habits around a healthy relationship with training and food, it's actually easier to continue it than it is to stop.